Welcome everyone back to ESCXTRA. It is Nick here together with the wonderful Lesley Roy from Ireland. Welcome, Lesley.
Hi everybody. How's it going?
It's so good to meet you, to finally see you. All lovely in your Ireland jacket. Proud of your country, aren't you?
Yes, and I thought I've been holding off on one interview to wear this, and I thought I'd pull it out for Nick this evening and show off this and my new little fun gift that we have on Instagram too. And it's really comfy as well.
Oh, that must be good. I mean, you will be preparing for all sorts of stage outfits, and having a comfy jacket is good, you know.
Exactly. And I think I lean heavier into the more comfortable clothes. And I think a lot of people do too after the year of being in sweatpants and pajamas. So I think it's hard to get out of it. So
yeah, absolutely. Now, second time at Eurovision, first time at Eurovision. It's quite a thing. But how does it feel for you? It's like your second Eurovision year. Would you say no? It's my first go because I've never actually been on there.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's always a little interesting when journalists and people say, you're going again, you're getting to go again. And it's, in my head, this is the first go, and it's just been a very long runway, a real long amp up to it.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you?
I am. I'm really excited, Nick. I'm a 10. I'm like, I feel like all of the work has kind of now been in the past, in the months up to this point, and now the song is really in my body, and the movements of what we're doing on stage it's all kind of just very much flowing. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, well, the stage performance will be interesting because I read somewhere that you're going to be on stage all alone, all by yourself.
Yeah.
How would that, I mean, did you ever think about having dancers on stage or having musicians, or was it always just going to be you?
Well, I think like a lot of people, a lot of the staging and performances was also, we were watching again what was going on with COVID and what would be the safest and most logical things to do. So it's been changing as we've been working on the staging. And as of right now, where we're at, I'll have 2 BVs off stage. So again, they won't be seen. And then we're thinking there'll be 2 stage hands that will also kind of they won't be seen. So it'll still be me, will be the main focal point. But I think for a song like Maps, we never crossed the options of dancers or anything like that. It was never that type of song.
Absolutely not, no. So, well, Maps, your new song, I mean, when we heard the title, we were all like, okay, what are you going to do with a song called Maps? This one out of the bag. What is the story behind it? How did you come up with the theme? Were there other songs you were considering for 2021, or was it always going to be, Maps is the one for me?
Yeah, no, it's a weird title, and I had it in my title bank of songs that I wanted to try for a long time, and I could never get it because it's like a weird word to use in a chorus. As you notice, it's not even in my chorus. So it had to be a very clever way of getting that across and getting it across properly in a song. So I had that title, and I was in just day after day of sessions and working on tracks and working on songs and trying lots of different styles. I wanted to try as many different types of songs as I could. So I knew that whatever I came out with, I had worked, as hard as I possibly could, and gone through all the things that I had listened to all the Eurovision fans of what they would have liked to have seen from Ireland, or what they love when other countries, present a great song. So I really tried to go through all of those things and think about what the people wanted. And then also at the end of it, think about myself as an artist and what I would like to present on stage for Ireland. So I was really kind of at the end of a long run of sessions, and I was starting to really feel frustrated and quite lost within the process, and quite anxious and worried about it, and sad. Then having had Story and had a little bit of the excitement from Ireland, and the thought of going back and saying, you know what, I couldn't actually beat myself, and I can't find anything that's even better, because to go and write Story of My Life Part 2 would have been very easy, very quick, and it would have probably ticked some boxes for people. But I always felt like that would have been like a disservice to Ireland and myself when as a professional songwriter for the past X amount of years. I can obviously go and write another song. So anyway, I was quite lost, quite frustrated, and gone through all of the options I thought, and then I just kind of let it go. And that's where the idea of, which in a lot of my songs is the case, of me trying to write the song actually became the concept of the song. So being lost and searching for it, I turned that into that's the internal kind of looking deep inward to try and find yourself. What's that true sense of home to yourself? And I think a lot of people too have caught on to it as what's your true sense of home externally too, on a broader level. So me connecting with Ireland and going back home to my roots.
Yeah, because that is indeed the message I also got out of it, because especially in the past year, because you live in the USA, you're representing Ireland, so for Eurovision you must go back to Ireland quite a bit. Did you ever have any travel issues? Like, was it impossible to go back at some point, or did you always, were you always able to fly back and forth the way you wanted to be?
Well, there was no like crazy intense back and forth. I've been in Dublin since like before December in the level 5 lockdown, and for most of 2020 spent it either in lockdown in Dublin or in lockdown in New York. So it wasn't like I was doing 1 week on, 1 week off. I think I've been fairly strict, like most people, of I can only go and do what I can do when it's legal and safe and with all the testing. So yeah, it was more so a case of being locked down one place and then locked down in the next place, but never just a back and forth for no reason. So but the song really was because of that, because I was spent so much time like stuck in Dublin and in that lockdown. It was a sense for me to reconnect with my roots and reconnect to this feeling of what feels like home inside internally for me, and what feels like home being back in Ireland.
Yeah, because Ireland still feels like home for you as well.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's kind of felt like this whole experience has really been a full circle, and it's mirrored in the song. It's that light bulb moment where you realize, oh, okay, yeah, obviously my true self is this, and then my true sense of home is obviously here, but you have to go all the way around to find that, and I think that can mean a lot of different things for people.
Yeah, because you describe it as a light bulb moment, and I can imagine you had that during the songwriting where you went, oh my God, that's it. That's what I'm looking for. The thing I'm looking for is actually the search itself.
Yes, that's 100% it. And it's been really nice that I think like people like yourself have really caught that from the emotion on the track. And I think it really resonates with people.
Yeah, absolutely. And what happens to you when you sing it? Because I mean, it's such a personal story. You must connect with that when you sing it, and you must feel the emotions coming out. How do you channel that when you pick up that microphone?
Yeah, I there's just something quite, I hope this isn't misquoted anywhere as something too obnoxious, but there is something quite magic about it. And even though I'm running it, back to back for 3 hours every morning, just singing it, you would think, okay, it kind of becomes just a performance. But I would say at least, every other couple of goes, I'm still emotional by the end of it. So yeah, I mean, hopefully I don't get too emotional on semi-final 1, but at the same time, it's just me being completely honest and completely real and completely raw. And that's what I think a lot of the times we can hope from a Eurovision artist, is that they have worked really hard on their song and they believe in it to the point of they kind of tear up over it. So, well, that's how I am for Maps. So
I am so looking forward to that. And I think we heard today that there will be a 3,500 people crowd at Eurovision.
Okay.
So you will be performing in front of 3,500 people again. That must be, I mean, talking about magic, that will be another magical moment, I imagine. Because you haven't performed for such a big audience in ages, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's going to be great. That's great news. I think a lot of people are so sad they can't use their tickets that they would have had. But yeah, hopefully that can go ahead and those people can get to enjoy, some sense of a concert after that year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that will be amazing. Now, if we look back at your songwriting career, what would you say has been the most fun? Because you've worked with many big talents, many big names. Is there a point where you go, yeah, that was the best experience of my life, my songwriting life? Because I mean, you're now a Eurovision star, so you're obviously going to say Eurovision will be a big moment. But if you look at the past and the songwriting for other people, what was your highlight so far?
Ooh, that's a great question. Obviously, yeah, eliminating Eurovision up to this point. I mean, I think the amount of huge writers and producers that I got to work with for my album Unbeautiful always still feels like gold. You know, like people would be lucky to even talk to some of them in their entire career. So, you know, having an album that was written and co-produced by me with Max Martin, and then we were able to pull in Dr. Luke and Katie and, you know, Dan Warren, Desmond Child and Rami Jacob, and like the list goes on, that of people that didn't, you know, that I wrote with over those 2 years that we didn't even make it onto the album. So I think like that whole experience in itself was just, I mean, like a songwriter's, like, you could only dream the list of people. So those few years was really something.
Yeah, that is quite the list you just mentioned there. I mean, my next question was going to be, is there someone who's on your wish list? But looking at that list, is there someone still on your wish list that you go, yeah, I would love to work with that person?
Yes, Mutt Lang. I never got to work with Mutt Lang, and there was talk and it was all back and forth, and it just never made sense over the years. But Mutt Lang is in my wish list.
And what makes Mutt Lang so special for you? What is it that is so magical there?
I think like it's similar to the people that are on the list that I got to work with. They, you know, they just work so hard to make the song as hooky, as clever, as, you know, quote unquote perfect as the pop song could be. And, you know, then they obviously bring their own style, and Mutt has a style that he's obviously had throughout the ages with Shania and all the bands that he's worked with. And, you know, he hasn't been doing as much in the pop industry recently, but yeah, I just think he brings something, again, magic, like the other guys, and it will be something fun to see as well, fun and watch, see the different process. I'm obsessed with the process of trying to find that magic and searching for it. So I enjoy when I get to be in a room and there's two people trying to find it. It's like this weird chase, and we tried to put that in the music video too, so it's a cool process.
Yeah, and that music video, it literally cost you blood, sweat, and tears.
100%. Yeah.
Because you had a nasty accident during the video, didn't you? You fell over.
I think that elevated a little bit in the papers, but yeah, there definitely was a nice fall. I mean, it's like Irish, you know, British weather. Some of the leaves are going to be completely muddy and soaking wet. So there was areas in and out some of those trees that was just like mud. So I did take a nice giant fall up legs up into the air, down onto the ground. But we it turned out so good. You know, it was freezing cold. It was a hard shoot, but I wanted it to be a little bit hard. I wanted to show the elements. I wanted to show the wind and the rain and the kind of struggle to get to this self by the end of the song. And I think it made sense.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made sense to put this in a really sunny Spanish beach. To look for the magic. This was, you know, the setting you wanted for it. And I think the setting as well. Yeah. Now, was it recorded close to where you are from in Ireland, the video?
Yeah, the Wicklow Mountains, you know, it's 40 minutes from Balbriggan, outside of Dublin city centre where I grew up. So yeah, it was, you know, quite easy to get up there. But obviously we had, you know, it's all the masks, it's the COVID amount of people that can work on anything, like we've all done, but it was still turned out fab.
Yeah, it turned out fab. But was it also a place where you went to in your childhood? Is it a place where you had childhood memories? Was it something where they just came up with like, okay, this would be great for the video? Or was it something you came up with?
Yeah, I mean, Ash Brady, the director that I found to do it, you know, we had sent multiple like treatments back and forth and images of different parts of the coast, East Coast and like West Coast. And we're trying to find like a very kind of smaller beach area that would kind of emulate Balbriggan Beach, where I would have gone, you know, in the summer when there was an Irish summer as a kid. So yeah, we tried to make it look as natural and as obvious to my childhood, and obviously the school trips where you would go and travel around the country. So yeah, it definitely was. It wasn't just someone picked something random from Ireland that would look touristy, like touristireland.com. You know, it was made to look as real as we could possibly make it.
Yeah, I think that is a key word for you, to keep it real. You know,
Yeah.
you describe the search for your true self and your true home, and keeping the video real. Is authenticity the key word for you when you're an artist?
I believe so. Yeah, because, you know, I have, you know, after I did Unbeautiful, and I you know, I was lucky. I did get to write for a lot of other artists and put on a different hat, and you get to kind of come out of your own real self and try other things. But I did find then a little bit, got quite sad after like years and years of doing that, because of you're not connecting with that real like authentic thing, like you said. So yeah, that is very important to me as an artist.
Yeah, I think many fans were waiting for RTE to confirm that you would indeed be their 2021 choice. I think this also links together where you had your soul searching for the right song.
Yeah.
Am I right to sort of guess that you didn't want to say yes before you had the song?
Yeah, basically, in a way, you know, RTE and I had a conversation as soon as it got cancelled.
Yeah.
And, you know, we obviously heard as that week went on, as all you guys would have heard too, that countries announcing just automatically putting artists through. And that made sense. That makes total sense. I understand the thought process behind it. But our early conversation was, look, this is still a song contest. We've no idea what's going to happen next year. But it is, at the end of the day, a song contest. So our song is done, it's gone, it's buried, and we can't talk about 2021 until there is a song. So I didn't want any kind of sympathy ticket anyway. And there was going to be a certain amount of time that I needed to wait to even safely be able to go into a studio again. So I think that was probably frustrating for a lot of the Irish fans, the waiting, like they asked every single day, and why is it taking so long? So, you know, I didn't even get into the studio till probably August. And then it was July, August, September of that searching. So I think that's why it took so much longer, was we needed this, we wanted to have the song. And then I wanted to not just try and rush one, then I wanted to make sure it was as good as I can make it. So it took a little bit longer, and we were both, RTE and myself, we're totally on the same page with that process.
Yeah, that is also quite important, you know, I think many broadcasters give their artists, you know, a free pass, well, did give them this year. And you and RTE decided, no, we need the song first. Did it ever put pressure on you where you went, oh my God, it's quite a big task to now having to come up with that one song to live my dream of going to Eurovision?
Yeah, no, I'd be lying if I said like it was really easy to find the song. Then the song probably wouldn't have sounded the way it sounds, you know, if it was like a really easy process. But I kind of like difficult process, so I'm not too upset about it. Obviously upset with watching what was going on in the world. But yeah, I mean, I think it made the most amount of sense the way it's panned out for me. And I'm kind of happy of the very strange roundabout way of coming back to be able to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can totally imagine that. And that now, well, Rotterdam in a little over a week, really, for you. What are you most looking forward to? And I'm going to take one answer out of here, and that's stepping on that stage, because I think every artist would say that. But what is the part that you most look forward to? Is it like seeing Rotterdam, meeting your fellow contestants?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to. I hope we can somehow kind of see each other in the same room-ish. I know it won't be obviously anything like how it usually is. So yeah, I'd love to meet some of the contestants. I'm not going to say about stepping on the stage, but I will say, you know, I'm excited to do those first few run-throughs to feel how my staging flows there. because no matter where you practice in what rehearsal room, it does it changes the sound, you know, each time it's going to change. So I'm excited to get in with the sound person and figure out to make that as, again, as quote unquote perfect as I can in my ears. And yeah, I mean, I think seeing how they're going to do all of this, like seeing, is they're going to be that kind of a red carpet thing? Are they, how are they going to do it with the press? You know, I love chatting with people like yourself. So I get very excited to meet and talk to new people about the experience and the process. So I'm pumped for that too.
Yeah. Now you mentioned the red carpet. They announced it's going to be a turquoise carpet this year.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you have an outfit ready?
No. No, is the quickest answer for that. No.
So your next bit of...
It's this, maybe. I'll just wear this tracksuit.
Oh, I will be waving an Irish flag when you do that. Yeah, please do.
Okay, I think I'll be the...
next... Yeah, it will be the next chapter of searching when you need an outfit for the carpet ceremony.
Yeah. But no, we're working on the actual performance vibe, and then the turquoise thing, because I think that's been a new kind of addition over the weekend, so over this week. So we had been waiting to see if we needed to go you know, put our foot in the gas on that outfit. But you know, I again going back to the realness of all of this, and again we're not locked into how any of the looks are going to be, but I think kind of using my little bit of a crystal ball, it's going to be quite real and quite a little bit more relaxed than a very overly sparkle, glitzy, glamorous Eurovision thing that I might have envisioned maybe last year. So I think it's all of my performance for those 3 minutes is going to be different. So I think that will also tie into the outfit as well.
Yeah, because well, you said you don't have, well, you have a couple of options for the outfit. But yeah, well, I can't imagine you in a big princessy disco frock coming up to that stage.
No, definitely not. I don't think it would work. It might be a bit of a mess, but so hopefully nobody's like waiting for that, because that would me being really, really fake at that point.
Yeah. So that it brings us back to the point, keeping it real.
Exactly.
Well, that is pretty much what we know that you stand for now as an artist. You know, keeping it real, keeping it the way you really are. You know, to finish off this interview, is there anything you would like to say to the viewers and fans of ESCXTRA.com, or your own fans who are watching this interview?
Yes. Oh my God. Thanks. I mean, the support and the help is just, and it's ramping up as the weeks go on. And I think people are experiencing maps in a different way the more they listen to it, and it's all starting to click and really connect and make sense. So, I mean, just thanks. And, you know, the support is great. And if you're in a country that can support Ireland within a vote, you know, it would mean the world to me and the team and the 14 months of work that I put into these 3 minutes. So thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Lesley, for your time.
Thanks, Nick.
To you, the lovely viewers of ESCXTRA.com, make sure you stay tuned, because we've got a lot more of these interviews coming up. Make sure you support Ireland, support Lesley Roy and her song Maps, and she will be keeping it real. ESCXTRA.com for the next couple of weeks. Thank you.